Can you love people more than God? The answer is yes. You obviously, I caught you off guard. You still thought I was tricking you. Can you love people more than God? Yes. That's why the Lord says we love him first, all right? You can love people more than God. Does that give us the right to abuse or be indifferent or hateful towards people so that we can protect our love for God? You're doing well. You're doing well. Some of you are a little nervous in answering me, but those of you that were courageous, you did good, all right? Yes, it's true. You can love God more than people. We have to put God first, but then he goes so far as to say, listen, your love for God has to be demonstrated in your love for people, or your love for God isn't legitimate. Can you love possessions more than God? Yes. Is it possible that unless I know how to steward well material things that have been put into my charge, that I can never fully, accurately display my passion and my love for God? I didn't expect you to be as zealous in your answer. It's all right. I believe that the Lord has called us to learn how to do life in a practical way as unto the Lord. Israel had an advantage over the church. Israel as a nation culturally knew that work was worship. We tend to think we gather together Sunday morning, whenever our meetings are, we have wonderful worship teams. They get up and lead in music, and that's worship. It is, and I don't ever want to change that. I'm so thrilled with what's happening. But they had a concept that extended worship beyond the hour or so that we spend together with hands raised, singing songs, declaring God's greatness. As vital as that is, they understood that worship was actually the expression of life. It was the expression of our life that put worth in him. It is the expression of worth. And so work was literally as unto the Lord. Whatever your hands find to do that as unto the Lord. And so what happens when work becomes worship is we finally become successful in erasing the line that separates secular from sacred. And we desperately need to succeed at that. We've done much better in recent years to put equal value on the nurse, equal value on the dentist, equal value on the housewife, on the mechanic, equal value to those who have been called to stand behind pulpits and do more official types of ministry. That every believer is a minister unto the Lord and to people. And if we can get this thing down, where we learn that work is an expression of worship, we will successfully erase that line that separates the two that still exists in the hearts and minds of many. Why is this important? Probably for a lot of reasons. One I just described, erasing the line. But the second would be fire always falls on sacrifice. Can you imagine this many people infiltrating this city, giving an offering hour by hour unto God? The work that they do, mechanic fixing that car. This is such a big deal that it says they took headbands and aprons off of the Apostle Paul. They took them to the demonized and they were delivered, and the people that were sick were healed. What were the aprons and headbands for? It's what Paul wore when he built tents. It was sanctified labor that actually brought healing and deliverance. What do you think it means in the prophets when it says, and he turned their plowshares into swords? It's a prophetic picture of the plow becoming a military instrument and bringing about eternal change. And it is the Lord that is wanting to take the gifting of every person in this room and put it into a place where it becomes an expression of worship. Then what happens? That worship draws the presence into the work environment, and we get rid of this line that separates the two. If we succeed with separating sacred, secular work, we will also become successful in erasing the line that separates us from them.